With the films, like, it would take 6 months to make an animation, or take a year and a half to make an animation, or even the Somerset Film projects like Teeth Musical was really, really labour intensive. And even though I wasn't drawing it myself, I was getting people to draw it, and then I would animate the drawings that they did, which I really enjoyed, because the young people we worked with from Bridgewater College were amazing. And some of them were really good drawers too. They made me quite, jealous. I was like, wow, you can draw much better than I could ever draw. The Somerset Film animations and the animations I've made myself, they take a really long time, and I'd be really slow at it, I mean, I love drawing. I like drawing one drawing, but when you have to do animation, you have to draw drawing after drawing after drawing, sequential drawings. And I like just doing one drawing and then thinking, oh, that looks okay, and moving on to the next drawing. But with animation, you have to keep revisiting that drawing, keep moving it. But I like writing, and I like trying to tell a story or making up a character, Often the stories are pretty, like someone goes to a dance or has a nosebleed or something like that. They're very pretty minor stories. But I still, like thinking of them, and I like character stuff, and I like observational things. Making my book, Days of the Bagnold Summer, I just, started making this comic strip about like two characters, a very simple idea, like about a mum and her son. So I started off super modestly, and I made it really easy for myself by just having 6 boxes on each page, and each page would be like an episode. I drew probably about 20 episodes, and then I won this. I came second in this competition, which the Observer runs with Jonathan Cape. So then the Jonathan Cape people saw this comic strip, and they said, could you keep doing it? And I said, yeah, I could. And they said, well, if you make the rest of it into like a book length, we need like more than about 40 pages, then we'll publish it. And I got really excited. I'm very, very surprised. In some ways, I'm kind of a Luddite when it comes to new technology. I don't have a mobile phone even. When there was less media everywhere, you'd get more excited about discoveries. If you discover someone playing like a nose flute, or like an old person breakdancing, if you had that clip on VHS in like 1990, it would be like prized, and it'd be passed around, and you'd wear out the tape. But of course, there's like countless things like that on YouTube, and you watch and you think, oh my god, I've wanted to see this clip for years. I can't believe that this is actual footage of like my favourite singer from 1958, and I've never actually seen them before. I've just seen them on the record covers, and here's like like 2 hours worth of material of them performing. That kind of access to technology is it just kind of dilutes excitement and intensity. I went to art school, and like there were filmmaking classes and stuff like that in like the early 90s when none of this stuff existed. And I remember there was like a real horrible, like very male mentality where it was all about like the new bit of equipment, but it was really like dominated by miserable old guys, and they were really into the fact that basically making programs, making films was impossible unless you were them. And I really love the fact that all that's been kind of totally like obliterated by camera phones and by domestic computer editing programs and stuff like that. I really like the fact that I think that's really empowering. And things like Somerset Film, they've taken that all those options and really kind of made them blossom and kind of encouraged them and flourished, and all that kind of stuff. I think is really, and I've worked on projects like that, and I've totally loved that about new technology. It's kind of totally empowered people to make stuff, and as a result, they've made some, they made some terrible things, and they made some amazing things. A project I did with Tom Stubbs for Somerset Film around the kind of time this stuff was beginning to actually, when stuff was, cameras getting more lightweight, and there were, the like Final Cut and stuff, where you could start getting that for your PC or your Mac or whatever, your home computer. It was around 2001 that we did the Catching the Light project. So that was just a project making everyone could make a 1-minute film about a subject of their choice, and we would help them do it. And that would be different extents. So some people were really interested in using the camera, so they would do the camera work, or they'd just say, you do the camera work, I'll talk. So I really love that, the different roles that they would choose to take, and they could choose to take whatever the role. Or some people would be more writerly, and they'd write it all and do a shot list, and some people just wanted to improvise and just film some material, like literally material. I don't mean like comic material. I mean just some material. There was such a diverse subject matter, and the content and the style and the level of production was so different. But when you put them all together, it worked because they were so diverse. It made a lovely sort of program. Like making stuff up, and I just like creative activity. I just like general creative activity and having ideas. I like that feeling. I just like the feelings, really. That's the nice thing about my pals doing this stuff, is that you can they make a film with some people in it, some cool people, and then you like meet them 2 years later, and it's like meeting a celebrity, and it's much more exciting than meeting, someone from One Direction or Beyonce or Prince Harry, because they're kind of like they're just generally a bit cooler, and they're not surrounded by all this rubbish machinery. It's like meeting a charismatic, fun person you've seen in a film, and then you meet them in real life, and it's much more exciting.